Hey guys, welcome back to Diablo 3 11d10 here, and today we're looking at the Necromancer beta again. And this time we're going to be looking at a set I haven't looked at yet. It is the Inarius set, which is the one based around bone armor with increased damage. So the 2-piece bonus, bone armor damage is increased by 1000%. 4-piece bone armor grants an additional 2% damage reduction per enemy hit, and a 6-piece bonus, bone armor activates a swirling tornado of bone, damaging nearby enemies for 375% weapon damage and increasing the damage they take by 850%. Now, this is a bit of a crazy build and it may not be viable high end, but I have cleared GR 45 with it in my initial testing, and yeah, let's get into the brass tacks here, guys. So yeah, it's a bit difficult to explain, so hopefully I'll be able to get across properly. We look at our cube powers first. Uh, this is a Thorns slash aura slash damage via life per hit build. I guess you could call it a Death's Bargain build, I guess, because it's one of the main things. Anyway, I'm looking at Spear of Jesseth for my weapon on the cube, so it's 15% increased thorns for every enemy afflicted by one of your curses. Armor is Death's Bargain. You gain an Aura of Death that deals 1000% of your life per second of physical damage to enemies within 16 yards, and you no longer generate life. And Convention of Elements for that huge physical damage rotating. So you'll find that I have 71,000 life per second, which isn't much, but there's ways we can improve that. And our thorns is 118,000. While the Necromancer has a Thorns passive that applies to minions, it's not too bad for solo play, especially the way we built this. So we have the 6-piece Inarius's set, and I've re-rolled Thorns into many of the items. And an interesting thing for this build is that Thorns and life per hit or life generation are on 2 separate tables, so you can get Thorns and life per second. If you can roll for this build, if you rolled Thorns and life per second, it's awesome. I'll be trying to re-roll some of these items later on, but for the moment I've got a mix of Thorns damage re-rolled and regenerates life per second re-rolled. You can see there I've got 10,000 on my helmet. We have Vambraces, Sanguinary Vambraces, chance on being hit to deal 1000% of your Thorns damage to nearby enemies. We have melee reduction here from String of Ears, and we have melee reduction here from a Storm Shield. These may or may not be necessary, but you take a lot of damage, so probably are necessary. The amulet we're using is Wisdom of Kalan, increases maximum stacks of bone armor by 5. I got a max roll on that. That's important. Bane of the Trapped, high rank, whatever, gem. So on the rings we got Rogar's Huge Stone, which increases your life regeneration by up to 97% based on your missing life. Again, that's going to help with your DPS. My Gizzard is only rank 18 because I've only started testing this build and I had to rank it up, so it's doing okay at rank 18. Regenerates 28,000 life per second. Again, that's pure DPS. And Prayer of Briggs, this is potentially optional depending on whether you like to pull your enemies into a target location or not, but I'm using it for the moment. It's good for crowd control. Boyarsky's Chip, adding Thorns. So we've got the Thorns gem plus the Life Regen gem, which is the 2 main pieces of our damage, and the extra stacks on bone armor. The weapon I'm using, Cursed Scythe Rune for Grim Scythe, now has a 100% chance to apply a curse. This may not be necessary since I'm using the aura for frailty, and I do spam leech quite a lot, so there's an argument to be made that I would switch this out for a better DPS weapon if I find one. I was testing earlier in the testing, the Cursed Scythe Rune was pretty much necessary. I do use it on the Grim Scythe skill, but this gives you 100% chance to apply a curse. The thing about this is it does apply Decrepify, so you get the benefit from that, but if you're casting Leech constantly and Frailties up as an aura, you're really only getting an extra Decrepify. So that's the items that I'm using. And we went over the cube stuff already. The skills we'll get into right now. So like you saw already, Grim Scythe with Cursed Scythe Again, that may not be necessary. You could probably switch it to something else, maybe Blood Scythe. A bad idea actually for healing. Blood Nova. This is important because it's got health cost. Again, this is kind of optional. You could switch to Bone Nova, but when you cast your Death Nova, you're losing life, and that's important for your damage because if you lose a little bit of life, you increase your damage or you increase your life regeneration via Rogar's Huge Stone, and even though you're not actually regenerating life, you're doing more damage. So you don't maybe want to don't spam this, but you cast it every now and then, and you get extra boost on damage there. Bone Armor costs 10 essence and 20% health, and increases your life per second by 10% per target hit. So with combination of the amulet that puts it to 15 stacks max, if you hit max stacks with your Bone Armor, you're going to be at 150% extra life per second while you have Bone Armor up. So that's pretty cool. Leech, we're using Blood Flask. Yeah, we're going to use Potion cooldown here, boys. So curse the target area. Cursed enemies have a chance to heal the attacker when they are struck for 1% of their total health last 30 seconds. And whenever a cursed enemy dies, your potion cooldown is reduced by 1 second. We'll get to that in a second. Devouring Aura, we use that to automatically consume corpse, which will be in conjunction with the passive down below. And Frailty Aura, again, you could probably switch out the aura for one of the other ones. This one's not too bad, Volatile Death. Yeah, Send of Blood doesn't apply, so Volatile Death's not too bad, but I like the aura. So getting into our passives, we have Draw Life, increase your life regeneration by 10% for each enemy within 20 yards. And you're a melee mancer, so you get a lot of that. Again, Survivability, increase your armor. Life from death, so consuming a corpse has a 20% chance to spawn a health globe. Because you don't regenerate life, you're relying on Life Leech plus your potion plus this one, which will give you the health globes. So it's good to have those available in a pinch. And you do gain 1 essence in life per kill, or 1% essence in life per kill with Dark Reaping. So they are the passives. Now, how do they work in conjunction with the skills you use and the cube? So, like I said, you get max stacks on your Bone Armor, which will cost you 20% health. You pop down Leech, which will give you your health back. You're automatically consuming corpses, which will give you health globes. And everything that is 15% less just automatically dies. And your potion here is an important one, and I got a crappy roll, I got 20%. Bottomless Potion of Amplification. Increase healing from all sources by 20% for 5 seconds. So that's kind of a burst damage item there. You want to cast your Bone Armor, pop your potion, things die, you get your potion cooled down, and then you have another burst. If you're at max life, which you are quite a lot, you can't use your potion, so that's why it's important to have the Death Nova, so you can cast it to actually cost yourself some life so that you can cast a potion and then give yourself an increased damage boost. With the Thorns and the 6-piece bonus, you're doing 850% damage of your Thorns and 850% damage of your life per hit, or life per second, constantly to enemies. So yeah, I'll show it to you in action so that you can see how it works. Hopefully I explained it well enough. There's probably some tweaks you could do for the equipment. I did have, initially, I tried a Fall Thorns build with Heart of Iron and a bunch of Vitality Gems, and that was working out okay, but I kind of really wanted to try the Death's Bargain item. I haven't found a build anywhere before that it worked with, so hopefully I can get something going with this. You can see the damage is pretty low, so I don't know exactly. I think that's probably because I rolled a lot of Thorns and stuff, but we're still doing a lot of damage, so I don't know exactly how I can increase that too much, maybe with an Ancient one-handed, but we'll see. Let's go and have a look at a Greater Rift and we'll show you how it works. Alright guys, welcome back. So because I'm an idiot, I ended up doing a GR 40 and lost the content because the audio was all messed up. So I did that a second time, and because I fixed the audio, you couldn't hear me speak over the game audio. So it's third try, third time lucky. So I leveled up twice from 18 to 26 my gizzard in the interim time. So we're going to try this for a third time and hopefully actually be successful. Okay, so it's going to take a second to get the stacks of bone armor up. You get a shitty spawn at the start of your rift, which I did. Okay, so we're going to get a bigger pack. You really want a good group of enemies to get good damage here. And this is a crappy rift, there's nothing here. Okay. There we go. When they don't attack you, it's kind of annoying. I think there might be some kind of bug with Grim Scythe that stops them attacking you. A lot of the time they just stand there and they don't hit you. I don't know what that is. Kind of annoying, to be honest. When you're relying on large groups of mobs to hit you and they don't want to hit you. This is a crappy rift. We don't have any good packs. Here's finally a pack. Insta dead. These disentombed hulks are really annoying because they slow your movement if they hit you and knock you back. And I hate that. Yeah, this is a crappy rift. Handling doesn't really do much. It gives me bone armor cooldowns. You really need big packs and I'm not getting them. Let's see. Do suffer from lack of mobility in this particular build. So you could end up with timing problems. Maybe there's room for blood, what's it called? Blood rush. Maybe blood rush instead of the frailty aura, I don't know. Kill time for packs is pretty quick, but you're really just looking for good groups here. Casting life leech on them as well as keeping bone stacks at 15, and you can position them ahead of time with the grip. Do a lot more damage if they're close together. You can see there that a whole entire pack just died off. And again, this is crappy spawns. These minions are not well grouped up for me. The thing about the curse with the grip rune is that if they're already cursed, you can't grip them again. So that's one benefit to the other amulet. But then again, like I mentioned, you're losing out on the benefit of the 15 stacks of bone armor. See, that pack just died, except for this guy for some reason. Yeah, he's dead now. Yeah, there's a good group. Let's see. So timer-wise, we're doing okay, but again, like I said, I feel a little bit slow moving across the map here. My movement speed isn't all it could be. There's that crappy knockback. So yeah, maybe blood rush is required. You'd save so much time. Don't know. I haven't used blood rush that much, so. But again, this is a really badly laid out rift. I hate this particular template. Give me one of these where it's just a straight line. See, look at that. See, that's the potential that you have in the build. Just walk into a pack and they instantly die. Stupid disentombed hulks, man. Don't like them. Where are we here? Get any more good groups? These disentombed hulks, they just don't want to die at all. I must wait. I'm gonna waste too much time on that, so hopefully we get a better template here. This is better, I think. Or is it the same template? It's the same template, for sake. In fact, it might be worse. Because it's got these bogans. The bogans, or bogans, whatever you call them, they have that slow trap. Man, it's so annoying. That was weird. Yeah, there we go. That's the slow. Oh my god. That's gonna be the most aggravating thing in this game, is that slow trap. So not the greatest rifts that I got presented with for demoing this build, but we'll deal with it. Is there a purple orb in there somewhere? I don't know. Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me. I'm wondering if some of the pieces of damage are coming through difficult to see on the screen, because there's a lot of white damage. We're not doing crits with our... I don't think you can't crit with Thorns, I don't think, but I don't know about the life per second damage. I don't know if that can crit or not, because there's a lot of white damage coming out there. And I did have a low crit chance on my stats because of that. Obviously the crit chance can be coming from Grim Scythe and my Bone Nova, or my Death Nova. Because they're the only real sources of damage outside the Thorns and Life Regeneration. So I don't exactly know what's giving me the damage on screen. Difficult to determine. We're almost done. We didn't get great groups, we didn't get great rifts, but we can see the damage potential there. I think it still needs a little bit of work, maybe a little bit of tweaking, certainly item optimization, as any build would do at this stage. That's a crappy spawn, you better come over here. So this might be doing crappy DPS for like 20 seconds and then all of a sudden he dies. Why is he down here? It better be a melee guardian or not enough. Okay, so there we go. Is he gonna actually attack me? Yeah, he's dead. So that's the build, guys. Let's level up our Gizzard a little bit more. I think if Gizzard was like 55 plus, it would be so much nicer. Going through it, your life per second right now is 186. Goes up, 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 the more life you lose. There's 222. And it briefly goes up even higher to about 300k when you pop your potion. Of course, the potion will hit you, give you almost max life again. So you get it briefly. It's like a 2 or 3 second burst. If you're taking a lot of damage, it'll go really high. And of course, if you're using the Osmosis rune for Leech, it'll go even higher. So there's a little bit of playing around, and obviously you want 15 stacks of your bone armor. So that's the build, guys. Hopefully it's interesting enough for you to pursue it. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas, any improvements that you could think of, any of the items you think you could replace. This might be something you could replace if you don't like that function. I think this is pretty much required. There's a couple other things maybe we could tweak. But anyway, let me know what you think, like I said, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.